IAMA Oli Pop Rock Radio. Estás escuchando Jamie Roxx de Pop Rock Radio. Manténganse al tanto.
Hej, det här är Hits från Sverige och ni lyssnar till Pop Roxx Radio med Jamie Roxx.
This is the Pop Roxx Radio Talk Show. I'm your host, pop art painter Jamie Roxx. This is the big show. You found it. I'm glad you did. Hey, so are our advertisers. Remember to support them because the internet's a trickle-down economy. So the better they do, it trickles down to me, and I can buy weird food for my weird dog. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. I am super jazzed. We have a guest tonight, and she is just cool, turned up to 10, and just talk about a phenomenal musician. She's got a set of pipes on her, and it's just, I'm so impressed with her music, her art. Very cool. I've been listening to a lot of it here in the studio and in preparation and whatnot. I just found out everything I've been listening to is from her last album, or perhaps albums before that. She's originally from Pittsburgh, and yeah, she's just great. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome Mrs. Cathleen Ireland. Kathleen,
hello.
How are you doing?
Hi, great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Let me just start out by asking you, because you're so good. You obviously have been doing this for a couple months now, probably a little longer.
Yeah.
When you were a little girl, a young lass, if you will, were you one of those kids that were always singing? You knew music was just in your veins?
I actually was. The neighbors would tell my mom that, like, she's always happy. She skips home from school and sings songs the whole way. And yeah, I was always singing.
There you go. I grew up with three sisters. One was a beauty queen. Every weekend, my weekends were filled with going to gymnastic meets or ballet recitals and stuff. Were you into all the other types of trappings of a young creative woman?
My parents did put me in dance classes, so I did that for a long time. And of course, eventually I was playing guitar lessons and also voice lessons. Nice. So yeah, they invested a lot in me.
Yeah, they're supposed to. They're parents. It's part of it. It's my point that I'm trying to make poorly here is, if you're out there and you're a parent and the kid brings home a permission slip or has an interest in, I don't know, playing the trombone or whatever, go with it, man. Go if you can. Support that.
Oh yeah. And I did for my son when he wanted to play clarinet.
I played the clarinet. Yeah. No, she played the flute. My sister-in-law played the clarinet. Clarinet's cool. Yeah.
Oh, you got a wind section in your house.
I'm telling you. It's they were typical girls. You hear the story. I wasn't there, but I've heard all the stories, and I felt bad. This is a very true story. I was talking to a stand-up friend of mine, and sometimes comedians, they'll be working out a joke, a bit, they usually call it. And so he had called me, and he goes, "Hey, what do you think of this bit? Does this work?" And he was telling me the bit, and it was a guy who borrowed money from the mob, and he lost the big football bet, and he couldn't afford to pay the Catholic school tuition for the semester for his daughter when it was going to be a problem. That was the setup I won't get into the whole joke, but that's the setup. And I said, no, he lost $10,000. That's Catholic school can't be that much. It can't possibly be that much. Catholic high school? Are you kidding me? And he goes, "No, Jamie, that's about what it runs." And I said, "Hold on. I have to phone a friend. I got to call in an expert." So I called my mother-in-law and I said, "Hey, quick question. I know it's weird. I'm just for my own knowledge. I know you sent my wife and her two sisters to Catholic school." And so I told her the story, and she goes, "Actually, Jamie, yeah, it's probably more than that." And I'm like, "You did that for 4 years for 3 girls? Oh my God." And she goes, "If you guys have kids," I'm like, "they're going to public school. Are you kidding me? They're going to learn their lessons on the street like I did."
Oh yeah, and those my son went to public school. He did not go to Catholic school, but on my husband's side, all of our nieces and nephews went to Catholic school. And I know the parents would always say that they also, in addition to the tuition, you have to pay for everything
Yeah,
that they do.
uniform.
Nothing really comes with that tuition. It's just they just said they nickel and dime.
Oh, kids can be crazy. I had a friend of mine who he's got two little girls, and one of them went, you know how little girls will go to like sleepover, they have a slumber party, they'll go for a sleepover. And one of his older daughter did, and they all went to the stable to see the friend's horse, and she got the horse bug. And he called, it was like he was almost ready to cry just from the expense of what he was looking at. And I'm like, oh.
That is not a cheap sport for sure.
No. Get her a clarinet. I'm teasing. Clarinet's not cheap either.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so funny. We living in Florida, we go to, my wife grew up here, and so her whole family worships at the Temple of Disney, and in addition to the Catholic school. But we're all members, and we got these passes, and so we go to Disney at least 3 or 4 times a year.
Oh, and, I love that. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, she does too. I think she's addicted to Dole Whip. But anyway, we go, and I'm always watching stuff. I'm one of those guys who just watches everything. And you see these, I was sitting there and I was eating, they sell these giant donuts. It's about as big as my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're $12 or something. It's a $12 donut. And I'm sitting there eating this giant spare tire looking donut. And I see this family come walking through in those little park area across from where I'm sitting there having my donut and coffee. And they break out a cooler out of a baby stroller. I did not know you could bring a cooler into Disney, and apparently you can. And they had homemade.
I didn't know you can do that around here at the amusement parks, but I didn't know Disney would let you do that.
Yeah, Disney, I guess it's not a problem. And they whip out the mom. It was an Indian family, not feathers, but the mom whipped out all these sandwiches out of the cooler in Ziploc bags. Everybody had a sandwich. And I'm like, wow, because I know when I get a hamburger at Disney, it's $27. So I can only imagine what a family is.
You should have traded half that donut for a sandwich.
I should have.
You got to know how to buy.
They were looking at me, but trying not to look at me because I think they wanted that donut. But anyway, yeah. So I was telling my wife about it, and she goes, oh, yeah, you can bring your own sandwiches to Disney. We're never going to do that. So don't even get that idea in your head. And I'm like, what the heck? And so then I'm talking to my father-in-law. It's a couple days later when we got back. And he goes, oh, yeah, that's how we used to do it when they were young. And that's why they will never do it now, because they've been there. They rode that ride, and that ain't going to happen. You're going to have to pay the $27 hamburger.
What kind of things does your wife like to eat at Disney World? Like the giant turkey leg?
Yeah, she's not a big turkey fan. But I'll tell you, once a year, and for those who don't know that are out there, they do a Epcot. It's one of her favorite things. They do the the Food and Wine Festival. And it's 200 little booths from all these different countries. And you go around and you can buy stuff from that country. And it's really good. But take $500 with you because you're going to go through it. You're going to go through it. You're not going to go out to eat because you've been eating stuff all day. It's smaller portions, but if you do that 100 times, it adds up. But yeah, she loves that. They do a festival of the arts. I got it, man. We go to that quite a bit. Anything art on there.
Yeah, Del Rey has an art show, and I've seen them down there. And do you participate in those? And down in Deerfield Beach, also, I see sometimes a little festival.
Oh yeah, and those are great. Del Rey has a really neat one that they have. A lot of people may not do. They do it every year. It's called the Kinetic Art Festival. And it's these weird things. It's art, like sculptural art pieces that you put in your yard, and the wind blows them, and they're all weird and abstract, and they move. Real neat.
I don't think I've seen that one. It's a whole festival just for that?
Yeah, just for those. And they got thousands of them, different ones. And I'm not talking about the Indian, the Native American in a canoe art. Looks like Jeff Koons did it or something. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Cool.
But anyway, enough about that. So you're young, you're singing, you're taking lessons. And when did you start? You had mentioned, I don't know if I should mention this or not. If I shouldn't, I'll take it out. But you had told me before we came on camera, you did cover bands for a little bit. Everybody needed a pep guitar singer, right?
I still have a cover band actually here in where I'm from, but now I'm the leader. Yeah, I was right out of high school when I got in my first band. It was my guitar player had a wedding band, and so they asked me to be in their wedding band.
Good money.
And I was with them for 8 years, and that guitar player is now married to my sister.
Wow. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. There you go. There you go. I've had friends that were in cover bands, and you can always get work. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Venues like cover bands because it brings in people. They love it. And I imagine a female-fronted cover band does real well too. You probably
I've always been big on having like male and female. I always have both.
That's nice because you can hit both.
Yeah, we can harmonize with one another, and we can do all kinds of different material, and nothing's really ruled out because we can, between the two of us. And I've been real fortunate, got to work with a lot of really cool guys. And right now, my videographer, his name is Joe Chilcott. He was my videographer, referred to me by a bass player that was in my band a while back, one of my friends. And Joe did all my music videos that were from my singles and my last album. And then I just hired him to be in my band, my cover band. And now he's too busy to do my videos. So, that one.
That's cool. And folks, we have links. We have links to Kathleen's YouTube page, all things Cathleen Ireland, clickable links in the description below. I've been watching a lot of her videos this week, and they're great. They're great. Matter of fact, I'm like, look at the light source on this video. I wish I knew who the videographer was. Now I do.
Joe Chilcott, or I think he's Joey Too Chill on Instagram.
Nice.
And he's a really super nice guy. I've worked with a lot of musicians, and they can be sometimes a little bit difficult to work with.
No, it's true.
And Joe is not. He is not. He is just the nicest guy. I'm really lucky that I was able to get him for the band, and we get along great. And this weekend we're playing a private Halloween party, and we're all going as characters from Austin Powers.
Nice.
Joey Too Chill is going to be Austin Powers.
And
I will be Vanessa.
Nice.
And our drummer will be Dr. Evil.
Oh, I love that. It just sounds like a fun time. I tell young people, because I get contacted by not just painters, but people in bands and stuff, and they're like, all these people, what's the secret? And I said, as far as I can tell, I know it's definitely this way in the art world, but in the music world too, I imagine it's the same. In any business, be a good hang. Be fun. Be fun to hang around. That'll get you far.
Definitely with musicians, obviously, you had to be responsible. There's a few flaky ones out there, but I've been fortunate, really fortunate, because I really haven't had to deal with that in all the different cover bands I've been in. I've been really lucky to work with people that show up for rehearsal, show up for gigs. I don't have to be worried or calling them, are you coming? I've been super fortunate with that regard.
Well, you get to a point, there's a lot of young people, they want to be famous. They don't care how, I got to be an idiot on TikTok. Okay, no problem. But there comes a point when you have a skill set of whatever, music, what have you, I think, that you can get past that. And you're like, I want to have fun. I want to do what I'm doing, hit that zone, and be with people of similar situations. I see that a lot with friends that were in rock bands, still in rock bands, but they've changed. There comes a point where it's, I'm not just trying to meet girls. I'm trying to actually do something. And I get it. And I totally respect it. I know some people that are 60 years old that still haven't figured that out, but I hope they do.
All right.
I don't really hang out with them. Anyhow.
As far as jobs go, though, it's a great way to, being in a cover band is fun, and we're lucky to get a lot of work, so we're fortunate.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff. I had a friend of mine that I still have a friend of mine. He was in a very, I don't want to say the name of the band, but they were mid-level famous in the 80s, and a synth pop band, keyboard band. And that things happened. That didn't really work. It ended. It ended. And he got a gig where he was playing piano, had a big baby grand piano, wore a tux to work every day, and he did covers on the piano in this very high-end department store in La Jolla, California. And it humbled him a little bit, but it was the best thing for him. He goes, yeah, man, it's steady paycheck. I love it. I love it.
And everyone's not going to be a superstar, but if you can make a living doing something you love, that's what matters.
Yeah, lived in La Jolla. He was doing okay. Yeah, had a nice car. It wasn't in South Florida. We were talking about it. Never mind, everybody. That's a joke me and Kathleen were talking about.
It wasn't a Lotus, right?
Yeah. He's not driving a Lotus. No. It's so true. People, if you don't know what a Lotus is, folks, have you ever seen that James Bond car where it turns into a submarine? That was a Lotus. They all don't do that. Just the fancy British ones. Anyway. So you're doing this and you're getting all this real world musician experience, and then you start penning your own stuff and whatnot, R&B tracks and the like.
I mean, I was always writing since my first band that I was in. I was writing songs, and even when I was 5. And my daddy would bounce me on his knee, and I'd sing, "Love my daddy, give me a ride." Love my, and so I was always like writing songs. But once I got in a band, then I started. But it's hard to find a whole band that will take you seriously enough to say, "Yeah, we want to play your songs." It's one thing to write them and even record them. I was always able to record, but to have somebody say, "Yeah, we want to play your songs at our gigs," that I don't know, or maybe it just took me a while to get better at it. I don't know, but
you look at like big artists. I know it's interesting if you see, folks, I'm going to show my age a little bit here. I'm of the age where we didn't have the internet. We read liner notes on albums. That's how we found out about bands we liked. But what I was going to say is, you look at somebody like David Bowie. It's always, each album will have different musicians, maybe a couple you can tell if you look at the whole discography, he's weeding people out a little bit. I like working with him. Yeah. He's staying. Everybody else is new. But I think that's the case with a lot of people. You hone your tool, everything, your people you're working with and stuff.
Yeah.
And some people, life happens. Some people say, I'm going to go do this for a while. I can't do that. And
as far as writing music, and like I said, I took guitar lessons or whatever, but I'm not good enough at any instrument to play on my own songs. So I always work with a co-writer, always. For a few bands ago, that was my brother-in-law. I mentioned he was the guitar player in my first band. So I wrote over the years, wrote a lot of songs with him. And then I was in like an alternative rock band in the 90s. And we had an EP that we released, and I wrote with our guitar player in that band. And then my producer now that I work primarily with is Ryan Tedder, not the One Republic Ryan Tedder. This is Ryan M. Tedder, but he's worked with Jennifer Lopez and Ariana Grande and Meghan Trainor, and he's a co-writer listed. I know from my cover band, I was looking up Meghan Trainor lyrics, and there he's listed as a co-writer.
How cool is that?
Yeah,
and you know the cat,
he's the real deal. So he basically writes beats for me, and then I take those and I come up with something, and then we meet back in the studio, and he produces. I'm executive producer, but he's doing all the production work in the studio, and he's been a godsend to me too. And actually Joe, my Joey Two Chill, he introduced me to Ryan. That's how I met him. So Joe was doing my video and he introduced me to Ryan, and we've done a lot of songs together. And then and now two other producers I work with too. One is Sean McDonald from Pittsburgh, and he's very well known in the Pittsburgh marketplace and has produced a lot of bands more toward rock, I would say, is more what he does. And then also I just started doing some songs with my keyboard player, and that's Frank DiDiano. He's in my cover band, which is called Hot Weather Holiday. And but being able to work with someone and write with someone, that does take a special relationship, a special trust. And I still want it to be fun. I don't want it to feel like a job, and it's fun. You probably feel that way about your art.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got the thing with art that's crazy is in my world, a lot of people have these preconceptions. They're like, oh, the muse has to get upon him. Well, if somebody's written you a check, you better get the muse going pretty quick there. That happens a lot. You can't wait around. Yeah.
That's akin to like sync licensing, right? I'm working on some things now for those kind of opportunities, and that's the same kind of thing. Okay, if you're not inspired, you better get inspired.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the music business is crazy. I grew up, I didn't hang out with any painters growing up. The only one I knew was me, but I hung out with musicians constantly. Everybody I knew was in a band or wanted to be in a band or trying to be in a band. And they threw the best parties. They knew the most girls. So I was hanging out with them. And I painted a lot of drum kits in my younger days, a lot of leather jackets.
Yeah.
I think I could paint the Van Halen symbol in my sleep blindfolded. Painted a lot of those. It was the 80s. But I learned so much. And people, they're surprised. Like in my world, we have a merch store. Any painting I paint, if it's a non-licensable thing, I get that licensed and we sell posters of it or t-shirts or beach towel, whatever.
Awesome.
And it's another income stream. And people are surprised. They're like, what? How'd you figure that out? I'm like, bands. Have you ever been to a show when there wasn't a merch table?
Right.
Yeah. You see a good idea, you use it. I just have a tremendous amount of respect. That and the fact of the art itself. I don't know. You're a woman, obviously. I don't know if it's this way with women. Yeah, I know it is for guys, definitely. You ask any guy, first time you kissed a girl, like for real kiss, not your Aunt Tilly giving you a peck on the cheek, song was playing at the party or the club, wherever you were at. And they'll know that's burned in their brain in that moment. Now, if you ask the same question, but you're like, what painting was hanging on the wall behind it? Nobody has a clue.
No.
There's no memory of that. You know what I mean? But yeah, why? It was Prince's Little Red Corvette. That's what was playing. And there hasn't been a good song. All music since then stinks because it's burned in their brain. They can't help it. Men are simple.
Now you have me wondering if I can figure out what song I don't think I can. Probably the genre. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. That's probably. It was the Pixies. Come on, where's my money? I'm kidding. I'm teasing. Anyway, yeah. So that's cool. So let's play a track so people know what we're talking about. These are all off the new album, right? No, is this out yet or is this coming soon?
Yes, it came out.
Nice.
Actually, that came out later in July.
Okay. Summer hits. I love it. So these are all available too, folks. Keep that in mind. We've got 4 that Mike over the fine folks over at MTS sent over. They would like us to play. Yeah, we're going to oblige them because they're all great. We've got In the City, Coastin', Breathe, and Proud of Me. What should we play? What should we hit people with first, do you think, Kathleen?
Oh, definitely. I think In the City and Coastin'.
Okay.
In the City first. Yeah, but this one's written about my hometown of Pittsburgh.
Nice. Here it is, everybody. In the City.
Conoma. We can meet at Conoma. Oh, whoa, oh, in the city. I've been feeling without soul, and the city lights revive me, and the music of the town gets my blood pumping, makes me feel like bumping out of the tunnel. A city surprise, fireworks over the water tonight. Let's take the incline up to the sky. Baby, it's time to ignite. I wanna taste that city life. Let's go to the city tonight. Oh, whoa, oh, in the city. I crave something, come on. We can meet at Conoma. Oh, whoa, oh, in the city. I wanna taste that city life. Let's go to the city tonight. Oh, whoa, oh, in the city. I crave something, come on. We can meet at Conoma. Oh, whoa, oh, in the city. It's a clear night in the town. Skyline reflecting on the water, and the rhythm of the square gets my pulse thumping, makes me feel like bumping out of the tunnel. A city surprise, fireworks over the water tonight. Let's take the incline up to the sky. Baby, it's time to ignite. I wanna taste that city life. Let's go to the city tonight. Oh, whoa, oh, in the city. I crave something, come on. We can meet at Conoma. Oh, whoa, oh, in the city. I wanna taste that city life. Let's go to the city tonight. Oh, whoa, oh, in the city. I crave something, come on. We can meet at Conoma. Oh, whoa, oh, in the city. Maybe we can catch a show. Try our luck at casino. Oh, whoa, oh, in the city. You'll get lucky all night long. Then again, after dawn. Oh, whoa, oh, in the city.
And we're back. That was In the City, written about Pittsburgh. I love Pittsburgh, Kathleen. It's one of my favorite cities. I'll tell you, you know how I mentioned I grew up in Detroit? One of the things I like about Detroit just, I don't know if it's still this way. Maybe they followed Pittsburgh's example. When I left Detroit, they had just, all the industrial machinery was just all rusting away, sitting around. It was pretty much a war zone. But Pittsburgh, what they did with their industrial stuff left over from the industrial age, is it's almost like statues around the city. You'll be going down a street and see like a big press or something, and it's all nice, and they've cleaned it up and painted it and polished it. I love that as it is aesthetic.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely biased, but Pittsburgh was a great place to grow up, and just the people are down to earth. I don't know. I just absolutely love our city.
I'm telling you, I was telling you before we did the show, I visited Pittsburgh, had a medical deal happen, and fine folks, I have nothing but praise for the fine folks I dealt with. Saved my life. I would not be here if it wasn't for those people.
Oh yeah, UPMC said.
Yeah, and they were fantastic, and got nothing but. Again, maybe I'm a little biased towards Pittsburgh now because of that too. It's good stuff.
Yeah, and that's University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, and that's where I graduated from, is University of Pittsburgh, not for medicine.
I got you. Music, right?
No, I didn't go for music. I went for communications. I was
nice.
And I was a salesperson for a long time.
Oh, there you go. Well, sales is such an important thing in any career because you're always, no matter what you're doing, you're selling something. You know what I mean?
Right. That's right. Yeah, and My major was communications and rhetoric, which rhetoric is the study of persuasion.
That's good. These are good skills to have. That's why you've been in so many good bands and get work, and because you know how to talk to people. I tell you, Kathleen, I feel it coming on. One of my old man moments. Here it comes. I mentor a couple kids, young people, I should say. I shouldn't call them kids. They're young artists. I don't teach them how to paint. They got to go to school or figure that out on their own. But I do help them with their art business and taking it to the next level, etc. And a big pet peeve of mine is young people who, I don't want to say are afraid to talk on the phone. They'd much rather text than talk on the phone. I'm like, if you're calling a gallery, you need to call the gallery. You don't text the gallery.
Oh, and any type of sales, you want to talk to the person. Yeah.
That's how you close. Yeah, exactly. Oh, it just drives me crazy. Drives me batty. I'm like, the phone.
And text it's so dangerous to do business via text or even email because you don't know how what you say comes off. Even some of my closest friends, you say something and then they're offended and like, wasn't what I meant. That's not how or you just make a mistake.
Exactly. I've done that.
Yeah.
I have done that. Oh boy. Oh boy. But you just have to look. If anybody out there has that mindset, course correct. That's this is the universe sending you a signal. Talk to people in person if you can. If you can't, at least talk to them on the phone. Come on. Trust me on this. It's crazy. Anyhow, so that's cool, man. That's cool. And the other thing I like about people are always like, was college even necessary? One of the things I like about college is it exposes you to different types of people and it teaches you how to think, and you make cool friends that you'll have a long time because you've all paid an exorbitant amount of money to know each other.
I actually did not make friends at college because I commuted. I didn't live there, and I commuted with my friends from high school. My boyfriend and one of my best friends, we commuted together. And so when every day we had lunch together, we rode together.
You got sick of them. He's like, I've had enough.
And I did eventually. Once I started in my cover band and was playing a lot, I did move into an apartment, but it was the third story of my boyfriend's grandfather's house.
Oh, okay.
And so there was he was like in his 90s. He lived on the first floor. A woman in her 80s lived on the second floor, and I lived on the third floor. And
gotta keep the mini skirts at a minimum in that
support. Yeah,
Jesus.
I'm one of those people. I just knew all the same people that when I left college, I didn't have a single new friend.
We were talking before the show about different stuff. Kathleen's husband is a big fan of Boston, went to school there. I did as well. And one of the things that was a drag about school, now that we're talking, this memory comes to me, is you make all these friends in a town like Boston. I don't know. When I was there was like, 200 universities. It was the college town of college towns. But you make all these friends, and they're from all over the world. They're from Brazil or Portugal or someplace crazy. I dated a gal from Madagascar for a while, of all things. But then the semester ends, and they all leave. They all go back home, and you got to make all new friends. Maybe that's helped me. I don't know. But it was a drag.
Oh, my husband was in pharmacy school, and they suffered together. So all of his friends in college
are stuff. You gotta have your
organic chemistry and stuff. Yeah. He said it wasn't easy. All his friends from college were pretty much in pharmacy school.
Oh,
and
yeah, you wouldn't go clubbing with people from Tufts and stuff like that. They're not going out. But the same thing with the music people. Everybody I knew that went to Berkeley, you're like, oh, these are serious musicians. They weren't going to clubs and stuff. No, because they had to study so hard.
Yeah, and practice.
And practice. Oh,
in music school, you practice and play all the time.
See, I had it easy. I got my master's in fine arts. MFA, those initials to us stood for something different. Not real nice, but
Wait, what time is it? Ray, how long have we been on?
Oh yeah, we can curse now. Yeah, it was a master's of doing something. That's around. That was, oh, it's so true. In art school, it's so funny because you have to turn in all your paintings at the end of the semester. You know, what you've been working on all semester.
Oh, yeah.
And we were going out. We weren't painting we just blew that off. The last 2 weeks of the semester, nobody was out at the clubs or anything because everybody was home knocking out 50 paintings in 2 weeks to have something to turn in. That was very true. All 4 years. You would think we would learn. We did not. It was.
No, you don't learn at that age.
No. And people were always like, were your parents paying for it? No, I had a grant, a tribal grant, but everybody else in art school, their parents were paying that stuff. None of us had much skin in the game that we were aware of at the time. Later, when you got to pay that stuff back, and
yeah,
we all became painfully aware of it. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So let me ask you with your process, because we just listened to In the City, and that's such a great track. It's polished, perfect. It's
thank you.
When people look at my paintings, they think, oh, that looks great. Jamie rolled out of bed this morning, this Tuesday, and did it. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's the case. More often than not, it fights me. I want to throw it in the street and jump up and down on it because it's hard. And you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. I don't mean to push any boundaries, but I'm curious because I hear In the City, to me, it sounds perfect. It sounds great. I can't tell. Was that an easy one? Was that a hard one?
Oh, In the City, I want to say that one was pretty easy. Yeah, in my process, I listened, and Ryan sent me a beat to that one. Yeah, and he actually gave me a little bit of direction. Let's do something like this style.
Mm-hmm.
And so I could hone in on, okay, this is what he's looking for. And I won't share the song because I don't want it to be like, oh yeah,
no, don't.
Yeah. But he gave me some direction that did help me. But I thought, and the song that he gave me that he said, let's do something kind of like this, was a love song. So I said, let's make this one not about love. Let's make this about something different. That's when I thought, we'll just make it about going out. And I play in this cover band every week. So multiple times a week. I go through Pittsburgh a lot. I get ready for shows. So I was trying to capture that whole excitement and process of getting ready and
you grew up there. You grew up
getting out there among the people, getting out there, and driving through downtown Pittsburgh is gorgeous with all the bridges and the lights on the bridges, and when we play in the South Hills of Pittsburgh, because I live in Indiana, PA, I'm going through the tunnels to get to the South Hills and then come back. And so late at night, I would be after my gigs, I'd be listening to the beat, listening to the music he sent me. And then we come through the tunnels and the city is laid out there before you. And it's very inspiring. And I just thought, let me try to put that into words.
Absolutely. Pittsburgh is gorgeous. I don't know if this is, I believe, I read somewhere, didn't they shoot like one of the Batman films there or something because of all the bridges?
Yeah. They film a lot of movies in Pittsburgh, actually.
Yeah,
and
nice.
My brother-in-law has a sign business in Pittsburgh, and he does a ton of work for movies, and they do Netflix series here. They do different television series, and he's always called in to do signage when they're making a set, or he can even make like wallpaper and things to make it look vintage. So he does a lot of work with the film industry in Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh has a lot of movies. Hoffa was filmed here. I'm trying to think of some name. That's terrible now. I'd have to look up the names of the.
You know what city you never see in movies? Detroit. Maybe RoboCop. That was probably the last one. Maybe if they were making like a nuclear Mad Max type, they might film it there. I shouldn't say that. I say that because I have this weird fan base that will email me, or what does she call it? Direct message, DM me these things saying, it's changed, Jamie. It's changed. You don't see cars burning anymore. I'm like, yeah. It was pretty bad when I was young.
I haven't been to Detroit for a very long time, but at one point when I was a salesperson, I would travel there.
My wife one time said, we should go visit. I'm like, no, I'm not taking you to Detroit. I like my wife. I like you. I want you around. No, I'm not doing that. That's very funny. Anyway, I know I'm going to get DMs for that. I know it. So the next track we're going to play, now this one is about love, I believe. Your love of both.
Yeah, it is a love song, but it's about a town that you and I both know pretty well. Another one, I should say, another town we both know pretty well. But yeah, it's about Boca. So it was written on my walk in Deerfield Beach,
nice.
and we walk up to the Boca Inlet up there, and that's what it's about. And
very cool.
Hanging with my hubby,
and being in love, in love,
absolutely, and being in love, yes.
That's fantastic. Nothing wrong with that. That's the goal. That's the relationship goal. Here it is, everybody. This is Cathleen Ireland, Coastin'.
A bullet. I'm thankful, grateful. I'm so blessed to be
And we're back. An amazing track. Kathleen, these are all available, right, on all the streaming sites and whatnot?
Yes.
Cool. Very cool.
Yes.
Folks, and it's that time, it's always, this is a good plan. This is one of the things I like about streaming sites. Say somebody and they're having a birthday or something, or whatever, some event's happening. Everybody's going to buy a card, and that's great. And believe me, hey, you can go to my website and go to our merch store and buy cards. I shouldn't be saying this, but if you really want to stand out, you really want to James Bond it, if you got their email, buy them a single, buy them some music, man. You'll send right to their email, and you look like a superstar. It's a cool thing. Maybe you know somebody who just got their license. Like Hostin's a good track, buy it. That's all I'm saying. And it's cheaper than a card, you know?
You were right about that.
Everything's so expensive. I was looking at cards the other day in the store just to make sure my prices were on point. And $450 for a birthday. I'm like, man, something better jump out of this thing when I open it for $450. Are you kidding me?
You got to go to the dollar store. But I'll be honest, I hardly ever buy cards for people. I usually try to tell them something to their face when giving them. Something from my own brain that is specific for them. Nothing against Hallmark. I don't have anything against them or American Greetings or anyone, but I just feel if it's in your own words and you can make your own card.
I did something cool a couple years ago for my father. Love him to death. He's a pain in the neck to shop for. He's a man of means, and anything he wants, he just buys. He's one of those guys. So he has everything he wants, really. He doesn't need it. So I'm like, oh man, what am I going to do? I got to be the good son-in-law here. I got to stand out a little bit. But a lot of fun. So I emailed a musician friend that I knew in Canada, and I said, hey, you're really good at songwriting. I'm assuming you're pretty good at writing a poem, right? And he goes, yeah, what do you got in mind? I told him, and my father-in-law's very into hockey. He's a ginormous Florida Panthers season ticket holder. So I said, could you do a poem that'll fit on like a page about the Florida Panthers? And he says, yes. I'm a fan also. I definitely can do that. And so he did. Paid the guy. He sent the poem. I had it printed in fancy paper and all this stuff, and we had frames. And that was the Christmas gift. And yeah, I looked like a superstar that year. You know what I mean? It was hard to beat.
Hair, makeup, nails, and toes, rushing to get to this gig. And in my closet, digging through clothes, I see a black everything. Weekends when I entertain, I work when I play. You know I wouldn't want it any other way. I gotta trust the journey, it's all about the climb. Keep it forward motion, hey, you're doing just fine. Breathe, you got this, you got this, girl. Breathe, you got this, you got this, girl. Man, family, cat, and kid, trying to please everyone. There's a little left for me when the day is done. Push it to the limit, it's time to make a stand. Stronger than you'll ever believe. I got product, I got brand. Breathe, you got this, girl. Breathe, you got this, girl. Come a long way now, get on the plane. Breathe, you got this. Get to my show, what do you know? Dealing with all of these dudes. Every single one of them reeks of you're just a girl attitude. Gotta trust the
That is funny that you should mention that, because that's my thing in my family, that I write poems for people for their birthdays. For my sister, my brother, I wrote one when for my uncle when he passed away, that we read at his wake. And yeah, that's my thing. I do that. And for my son, I do like birthday, like when he was younger, for invitations for his parties, and for my niece and nephew, invitations for their parties. I would write little poems, and yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's one of my most prized possession. I'm looking up here on my shelf, is just a quick birthday note that my father, who passed away in 2015, had included in a card to me. But it's silly and simple, but it wasn't a poem or anything grandiose like that. It just says, I think about you a lot, kid. Keep those paintings going out. Keep them paintings coming. And I have it in a little frame up here. It means that much to me, at least.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
yeah. And on the days that I don't want to do it and I need to paint, I look at that little thing and I'm going, we better get at it. There's work to be done. Yeah, it's cool. So the next, I'm glad you're doing that I'm telling you, there'll be a time when they say, oh man, Kathleen wrote this. Check this out.
Oh yeah. Especially if there's like a part, like my sister's, it was her 30th. My little sister, it was her 30th birthday. I wrote one, and my brother's 40th. And yeah.
I know your sister's married to the bass player, but
guitar. Yeah, he was my guitar
player. Is she got the musical bug also, or?
Actually, yeah. So that sister of mine, so I have 4 sisters and 1 brother. But that's my sister Mary Beth, who's 5 years older than me. And that's how I got really interested in music, because she was in chorus. She was always singing too, and really into music. And she was in chorus and in variety show or variety club in school. And my mom would bring me along to the shows. And I was always just, I can't wait to be in chorus when I'm in high school. And so I did that, and then I did the musical. I had the lead in The Sound of Music in high school, and I did all the same stuff my sister had done. I did, but I just stayed with the music.
I gotcha. There's nothing like inspiration like that. It's Kathleen. I was a child of the 80s, so you may know this band. You probably do, maybe not. There was this gal a young lady in my, junior high? I don't know. I was like 13 or something. Anyway, she was all right on a Saturday night. I really thought she was just dynamite. But she wanted to go see Duran. So I saved up money, got us tickets. We were going to see Duran. She was a couple years older. She could drive, I remember. So we went and saw Duran in concert. And I'm watching the show. And there was their bass player. This guy's he could have been a model if he wasn't a rock star. He's got that type of guy looks. And he goes to the lip of the stage and he's doing the whole, I can't hear you, and putting his hand up to his ear, that whole thing that people in bands do. And I saw 15,000 girls lose it, Beatlemania lose it when he did that. And I was like, oh, I need to get a bass guitar. That's what has to happen. And so I went home. And my dad was still up, and he's sitting there at the table, and he goes, how was the show? And so I told him the whole bass player story. And I said, I got to get a bass guitar, Dad. It just has to happen. It is my future. This will lead me to the light. I've seen it. And he kind of shakes his head, and he looks down, and he goes, son, we have had a baby grand piano in the front room. I've never seen you once sit at it or try to play chopsticks or anything on it. You have shown no music. You listen to music on the radio.
Yeah.
He goes, but I don't think music's for you. Now, drawing, that's all you do constantly. Maybe if you applied what that guy did to his bass playing, the same level of energy to your drawing and stuff and all of that, you might get to a point. Fast forward a few years later, probably the same time your husband was in Boston. We're sitting at this little Irish pub in Dorchester called the Harp and Bard. And there was some girls in there from the performing arts school there. And they're hanging out. And I started sketching one of them out on a cocktail napkin that was on the table, on a table napkin. She comes over and looks, and it worked. I'm like, I've discovered the secret. Dad knew what he was talking about. So yeah, just find your zone. That's my advice to anybody. It's a very true story. It really happened.
I love that story. That is a great story. He was wise.
Yeah, you got to listen to him sometimes, folks. You got to listen to him. Now, we have 2 tracks to go. We've got Breathe and Proud of Me. What should we play next?
I would play Breathe next, and we'll save the more intimate song for the end.
I got you. Folks, this is Cathleen Ireland. Breathe.
Hair, makeup, nails, and toes, rushing to get to this gig. And in my closet, digging through clothes, I see a black everything. Weekends when I entertain, I work when I play. You know I wouldn't want it any other way. I gotta trust the journey, it's all about the climb. Keep it forward motion, hey, you're doing just fine. Breathe, you got this girl. Breathe, you got this girl. Man, family, cat, and kid, trying to please everyone. There's so little left for me when the day is done. Push it to the limit, it's time to make a stand. Stronger than you'll ever believe. I got product, I got brand. Breathe, you got this girl. Breathe, you got this girl. Come a long way now, get out and play. Breathe, you got this. Get to my show, what do you know? Dealing with all of these dudes. Every single one of them reeks of you're just a girl attitude. Gotta trust the journey, it's all about the climb. Keep it forward motion, hey, you're doing just fine. Breathe, you got this girl. Breathe, you got this girl. Come a long way now, get out and play. Breathe, you got this. Breathe, you got this girl. Breathe, you got this girl. Come a long way now, get out and play. Breathe, you got this. Breathe, you got this girl. Breathe, you got this girl. Come a long way now, get out and play. Breathe, you got this. Breathe, you got this girl. Breathe, you got this girl. Come a long way now, get out and play. Breathe, you got this.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. How about that? Fantastic track. Let me ask you, on a track like Breathe, is it and again, I haven't given Kathleen any of these questions. I like to do the show a little more organically, but I'm curious, and you don't have to answer any of these, Kathleen. I don't want to ruin the magic show by telling the trick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I hear a track like Breathe, it is so good. Is it a long process from like conception to people can buy it on streaming sites and stuff?
That Breathe actually is a little different than most of my other songs in that I actually just purchased a beat for that one. And occasionally, and then I can work with Sean. That's Sean McDonald was the producer on that. And Sean, actually, he's a fabulous producer, but he's a drummer. He doesn't write songs for me. I have to find the music elsewhere. And then I bring it in, and Sean, he always knocks it out of the park.
Nice.
He's very dedicated to his craft, and he gives 100%, regardless of what the project is and what he just, I really admire his professionalism and the effort that he puts in. He's fabulous. I adore Sean. I can't say enough nice things about him. And so that song was, and I'm trying to think. Yeah. So that one's written a little bit more about my actual life. It really goes through the whole thing of, again, like getting ready for a gig. I'm always looking for something. What am I wearing to my gig tonight? And I'm looking through all my clothes, and they're all black. So it starts out talking about that. I can't find this shirt I'm looking for because everything I own is black. And I'm like, where is this shirt?
My wife has the same issues.
Yeah. Okay. So that's part of it. And then, it's the stress. That song is totally about stress. It is about being stressed out for one thing, I work with all men. And so that's not always easy. And the stress of just getting dinner for my family and then getting to a gig and I'm always like running behind, and I'm always like stressed out. And it talks about that. It's just the way I have to calm myself down on the drive. Just, okay.
Get into that moment. Yeah. Get it.
I get it.
I have a big fear. I have done hundreds of art shows. Hundreds. I fear this is going to be the one where somebody shows up with rotten tomatoes and starts whipping them at canvases. You know what I mean? It's my big fear. It's never happened. Knock on wood. But I always think about it. No, I get it. That's the kind of the thing of the crux of the modern mom, maybe all moms of all time, is you've got all these different hats that you wear, and there's different stress things that are created from each one. Each time you put that one of those hats on, here's a whole nother big basket of stress over whatever. I don't know how you ladies do it. Pretty impressed. Me and my wife, it's so true. Oh, it's so true. Me and my wife had a serious conversation on, it happened yesterday. I was having the dog was, our dog was, she was sick, and I was concerned about the dog, and then a bunch of work stuff. Just a million little, nothing big, just a million little things. And I wasn't being the most pleasant person to be around. And my wife pointed that out to me. Bless her heart, because now that I look back on it, I'm like, yeah, that she was right. So I get it. I don't know. I think women handle stress way better than men. We just, I don't think we're that complex. We just push.
I don't know. That's hard to say. My husband has a mail order pharmacy that he runs, and he has a lot of stress. And normally you wouldn't know. He's very calm, even keel, takes his time with things. Me, when I become a total panic ball of fire. Just, you don't want me with you. I'm not the person you want with you on the boat when it's sinking.
No, I'm the way.
When the plane is going down. No, I'm not. No, I can't. Don't put me in the seat where, the emergency exit. No, not me.
I'm the same way. I am the same way. Everybody thinks I'm calm and no, not at all. And I usually get grouchy. That's the other thing about getting a little older too, is my tolerance for nonsense decreases with every year that I spend around the planet.
That's hormones.
Yeah, but it's weird, because I remember my dad was that way up until a point, and as soon as he hit 60, he just started being real cool about everything. Somebody cut him off in traffic. I'm like, Dad, that guy cut you off in traffic. And he's like, he probably had somewhere to be. He needed to be, who knows? I hope he gets there in time.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's just a carrot I've invented that I dangle in front of hoping to get to that point. One can hope. One can hope. Amazing. Let me ask you this. Now, do you have a big bank of poems and songs that you've written? So you've got lyrics and stuff at the ready?
No, I from the past. Not stuff really. I don't have stuff at the ready right now to release.
I gotcha.
So I just recorded the first song for my next project, whether that's going to be a single release or another EP or album, whatever. I just did record that, and I do have another one. I do when we go to Florida. That's what I like to walk down there in Deerfield and work on my songs, and that's what I did. We were there for the past week, and I did a lot of working on songs so I have another one ready for my next recording session with Ryan, and then he and I are working on some of these sync licensing opportunities as well.
Well, it's very cool that you're into that, because I remember I had somebody on the show for this a couple years ago, and I told you my wife was managing at the time a big store. I don't want to say what it is, folks, but think Orange. I will put it that way. And she's not selling orange juice. No, cosmetics and hair stuff and whatnot. Anyway, she had heard me doing a show, talking to this guy, and she texted me the next day, and she goes, his song is on the speakers here at work right now. Yeah. And I'm like, let me text him. But I passed the message, and he was very glad to hear that, of course.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and he goes, it's crazy with the sync licensing and different things you can do. He goes, I've been being played in China at these malls in China for 6 months now, and I'm getting paid for it, which is fantastic. He goes, yeah.
I know, that's just wonderful.
Yeah. A couple of those gigs, and you can afford to get the something I noticed when we first started the show, Kathleen. I can't hold it in. I have to mention it. You've got cabinets like my wife likes. We have cabinets. They don't go all the way to the ceiling. There's like a space there at the top. I didn't understand that. She was right, of course, because they look great. And obviously, a lady of style and taste, that's the way to go.
Well, tall, I think that's part of it too.
He is too.
You're not very practical if you're not tall. You would need to pull out a little stool or something to get up there. But it is nice to have things. Those top shelves up there have a bunch of stuff that we hardly ever use. But I'm pretty tall, and I can reach the things on the top shelf. So,
Kathleen, I am 5'6", dwarf size, and my wife is 6'1".
She's 6'1"?
She's 6'1". Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm 5'10", but my sister Colleen is 6 foot tall. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
So in our cabinets, if there's cookies or something she likes and she doesn't want me getting into, up on the top shelf.
I love it. That's what you do for a kid, for a child.
That's what she does with me. That's very true in our house. And it's funny because I'm a MacGyver. I'm using long steak knives and stuff to try to get the pack of crackers down, to flip it down.
Try the tongs. They're like hot dog tongs.
That's what I need. That's the long ones. I was in there the other day with a yardstick. It's very true. Very true.
The tongs are good. I think they would do the job.
There you go. The last track we're going to play tonight, folks, this is Cathleen Ireland's Proud of Me. What were you proud about? Or do we have to listen to the track to find out about it?
Well, this song is about me telling my husband, my son, my parents, I just want to make you proud. And that's what that's about. And if I talk about it too much, I will cry because it is a sad song. So sad I hired a cello player.
Wow. There you go.
This song is the most intimate thing I've ever written. It is and you'll hear my voice cracks in it. It's right there.
That's awesome.
It's raw. It is, yeah.
Folks, without further ado, here it is. Let's all hear. Let's all listen. This is Proud of Me, Cathleen Ireland.
That's just how we roll, baby. I take you and you take me places we're not meant to be. It can take its toll, baby. It can take its toll. I just wanna make you proud of me. I just wanna make you proud of me. I just wanna hear the crowd for me. I just wanna make you proud of me. Hopes up, hopes down. I'm so thankful you're around. That's the way it goes, baby. That's just how it goes, baby. Take our time and hurry up. We're both running out of luck. That's the way it goes, baby. That's just how it goes. I just wanna make you proud of me. I just wanna make you proud of me. I just wanna hear the crowd for me. I just wanna make you proud of me. I keep asking myself, what am I doing? I keep telling myself, just keep going. I keep asking myself, what am I doing? What am I doing this for? Love is love does. Take a picture if you must. That's the way we do, baby. That's just how we do, baby. Sleep out, sleep in. Dream of us, dreaming. I just wanna make you proud of me. I just wanna make you proud of me. I just wanna hear the crowd for me. I just wanna make you proud of me.
And we're back, everybody. Back. We're back. Proud of me. What a track. What a track. Kathleen, amazing. Amazing. You're so good. You're such a good artist. We were talking a little bit now off camera about you've got a couple gigs coming up, right? So if people are in the area, they can come out and support and see you and everything.
Yes. So for my original music, that aside from all my cover band gigs, I'll be playing at Jurgles in Warrendale, Pennsylvania, which is north of Pittsburgh. And that is on November 14th.
Nice.
And I'm trying to remember what time that show starts, maybe 8 o'clock, I think.
I got you.
Yeah. So that is November 14th, Jurgles. And there's a few other acts on that bill as well. The Prince Project is going to be playing at that show, and I do not remember the name of the other band.
I'm looking here. Yeah, I see the Prince Project. I'm over at Kathleen's website, folks. What a good website, even for an old fogey like me. Easy to navigate. Oh, Kathleen.
Thank you. That's my friend Josh Hankinson. Did that for me. He works for my husband, and he's a fabulous employee for Diamond Pharmacy Services, but also
good at this
on the side.
He's real good at this. I'm telling you. And granted, it's all painters and stuff and they're like, I'm like, I didn't see the painting. I couldn't find them on your website. And they're like, you saw the tree, right? There's a monkey in the tree. Did you give the banana to them? I'm like, no, I'm not doing all that. I just want to see the paintings. Put a direct link. Come on. This website's easy to get around. In fact, when you open it, one of the first things right at the top says shows. Amazing. And I can see the show and directions and all that. This is a nice website. That's a nice.
Thank you.
The K&L Gates building in the background there. Yeah, that's good. Very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, and I should plug my photographer, the incredible, sweet, and just awesome Jamie Jamie Steedle from Indiana, PA. Jamie Steedle, she does great work. And my makeup and hair artist is Chelsea Gooden. She's fabulous as well. She's actually won. So Joe and I had won. I mentioned Joe Chilcott as being my videographer, and we've won a lot of awards at various film festivals all over the world. And Chelsea also won for best makeup for one of my videos as well.
How is that?
Yeah.
How cool is that? Well, and folks, here's a good, if you're an artist out there and you're wanting to take it to the next level, my advice, any type of business, I don't care what, if you're baking bread, whatever you're doing, man, find somebody who's doing it well and look and see what they're doing. I'm not saying copy them. I'm saying get inspired by them. I'm saying, oh, hadn't thought about doing that. That's a good idea. Hire the makeup artist. You know what I mean? Makes you look good. Nothing wrong with that.
That's the best investment ever.
Yeah, you're putting all this time and effort into this project. You know what I mean? This business, that's real big. You want to put the best foot forward. That's what you got to do. Looks like you're walking towards a ZZ Top car in this picture here. You're in your jeans, walking down an alley or a street or something.
That's in Indiana. That's up here. Yeah, that's nice. Here in Indiana, PA. Yeah,
nice. And that is the nicest graffiti I've ever seen either. You're sitting on a wall that's
yeah.
Very that's a mural, baby. That's not graffiti. Yeah. That is fancy.
Yeah, that's right here in Indiana, PA. If you're ever in the area,
nice. Nice.
Show you around downtown Indiana.
That's very cool. I'm so glad to have met you, and I had so much fun tonight, and we did the show and everything. I want to stay right in touch with you because you guys are down here all the time.
Yes.
Next time you come down, I'll whip up some Chinese food or something.
And you'll walk with me.
You'll get me walking. Oh my gosh. I know. I gotta start. It's
what I do for inspiration. If I'm not at the beach walking along the beach in Deerfield, then I am in Indiana, PA, walking in the woods. So there's like a wildlife reserve here in our neighborhood, and it's got trails all over and part of connected to the IUP co-op and some. Yeah, that's where I find all my inspiration.
It's probably a lot cooler there than at the Deerfield Beach in July.
Yes, yeah. Got that. I think it's probably in the 50s right now.
Oh man, I love that. That's sweater weather. I like it.
Yep.
Oh, Florida's weird. We'll get a couple of these cold fronts that come down. Everybody's 65 or 70 degrees. I'm freezing. Yeah, you don't know. You have no idea.
You got that right. Yeah. You remember the cold from Detroit, right?
Oh yeah. Detroit was so bad. I remember when I was a kid. This is a true story. So they needed a place to put the garbage. So they built an incinerator in the middle of Detroit, in the middle of the city. And then everybody was complaining that the snow was brown. I'm like, yeah, what do you think was going to happen? Are you kidding me? It's true. Out of the sky.
Don't eat the brown snow.
No. What are you putting in there? Industrial waste? Come on. Jeez Louise. Anyway, I'm definitely getting emails about that. Very cool. Kathleen, you're great. You know this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. If you ever have one of those mornings where you're like, I don't know if I can do it today, you got a big fan down here in South Florida that hopes you. Very glad you are.
Thank you so much. I would love to meet up with you when I'm down there again. Yeah. And I want to see your artwork more than just the
single drops too. Let's have you back on the show. Absolutely.
I would love to. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you guys for all listening and tuning in and watching and all that. Very cool. We will see. I'm actually off for the rest of the weekend, so we will see you next week. Keep cool. Keep doing what you're doing out there. And remember, the world's a weird place now. Just be patient with people. Be a good hang. If you're traveling via airplane, I think they're hilarious, but don't wind up in a Karen video on YouTube. Lay off the booze before you travel. Drink after you get to where you're going. How about that? And
Good advice.
yeah, you don't want to be the person that makes everybody have to get off the plane. Nobody's impressed with that.
No.
And when the cops show up, you ain't going to win. So quit trying. Those are silly. Anyway, have a good one, everybody. And hey, we mentioned, and I should mention it again, if you're doing some sort of music project or whatnot, and you need help on the PR side, we have links to them as well down below. The fine folks over at Mike Stover and the crew over to MTS are, I don't know, do what you got to pick up his dry cleaning, whatever you got to do. You probably have to write a check, but write that check and get them on the good people to know. I wouldn't know Kathleen if it wasn't for them. So
that's right. They're wonderful. Michael's great.
We'll see you next time. I'm sorry, Kath. I didn't mean to talk over you.
Michael's great. Michael's great. Thank you, Michael, for introducing me and Jamie.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think the guy sleeps, man. I'll email him I'm an old man. I get up at 3 a.m. now, and I'll email, and he responds immediately. I'm like, how are you up? Nobody else in the free world is up except me and you right now, Michael. It's crazy. And he's got kids. He's got like little kids, I think. I don't know how he does it. Anyway, we'll see you next time, everybody. Have a good one.
This has been pop art painter Jamie Roxx's Pop Roxx Radio Talk Show. It has been executive produced by Jamie Roxx, recorded at his studio in Deerfield Beach in South Florida. All rights reserved by Pop Roxx Limited.
Hannah Oli, Pop Roxx Radio.
Estás escuchando Jamie Roxx de Pop Roxx Radio. Manténganse al tanto.
Hej, det här är Hicks från Sverige och ni lyssnar till Pop Roxx Radio med Jamie Roxx.